So I typically don't review MCU projects and Marvel projects outside of, right out of theater reactions like I did with Captain America Brave New World. Because for my own personal reasons, if you really want to know, I'll tell you why. But it's just something I don't do. I don't go in depth reviewing Marvel. I have enjoyed everything Marvel's done except Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion had a lot of good ideas, but it just was not fully cooked. And I've never really, aside from Secret Invasion, I've never really been disappointed by Marvel. I go into these shows and these movies looking for stories with these characters that I like, seeing them in live action. If I'm entertained for 2 hours, an hour, whatever, I'm happy. Occasionally, we get a Winter Soldier, we get a Black Panther, we get a Daredevil. Now that's what I want to talk about. Daredevil Born Again. The original Netflix show is one of my top three favorite shows of all time. Star Trek Next Generation, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Daredevil. The new show on Disney Plus, which the first two episodes aired yesterday, is a full-blown continuation of that show. Hands down, it is the fourth season. I have watched those three seasons at least 4 times each. It is in spirit, look, feel, it is a continuation. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the reshoot and how the original series was scrapped because of fan outcry. When it's well documented, it wasn't because of fan outcry that the original show was scrapped. Kevin Feige watched the first 6 episodes and hated it. Absolutely hated it and scrapped the entire thing, wanted to do the Netflix thing, wanted to do the Netflix formula, and that's when they decided to bring everything into the MCU canon. Now, spoilers, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to spoil what happens in the first 5 minutes. Feige is killed. That's caused a lot of fan outcry, and I think that has something to do with a lot of people being upset. Frankly, I don't think he's dead. I think they're going to bring him back, and they're going to do The Secret Life of Foggy Nelson, which they've even said he's coming back in season 2. Whether or not that's just a red herring, I don't know. But you also couldn't kill Karen. If this is MCU canon, you can't kill Karen. And you can't do it off screen, you can't do it on screen, because the second you do that, you unleash Frank. The relationship between Karen and the Punisher in the original Netflix shows is really a strong thread, as Karen is the heart of the Netflix shows. And we know the Punisher's coming. We know Frank is going to be unleashed. We know he's coming. It's been in the trailers. It's been part of the promotions, everything. However, I want to just talk about how it's never been more clear to me now that there is just an inherent bias to hate everything Marvel does. There was a great creator that I saw a few weeks ago that basically broke down how the quality of content that Marvel does now is the exact same as it was pre-Endgame. I think we just reached the point of Endgame where everything was so coherent and everything was so well tied together, and it just built to that great climax and that great final moment. Everybody's expecting that now. The Marvel projects post Endgame have all been solid, minus Secret Invasion. I enjoy Quantumania. I know people don't like it. I know people hate it. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun romp. I don't think it's the best Marvel movie, but I do think it's a fun romp. The one criticism I have of that movie is it strays way too far away from the first Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp, which were just heist movies. But back to Daredevil. This show is truly the Netflix show. I've seen people calling it imitation. I've seen people criticizing that it's not the same, and it is the same. Yes, they changed up the supporting cast, which I think was the right move. I think it was a good shakeup in order to you have to put Matt through the grinder. Matt Murdock goes through the grinder. That's what he does. I saw one criticism saying, "Oh, how come it's always Daredevil Matt Murdock deciding if he wants to be Daredevil or not and giving it up and then going back?" Because that is like a key component of Daredevil's character. That is a key component of the Catholic guilt that Matt Murdock feels in being Daredevil. Daredevil is in my top 10 favorite characters, so I love Daredevil, and the show, the original Netflix show, and now Daredevil Born Again. This is what we've wanted. This is what we asked for years, since Netflix prematurely canceled the shows. Marvel has absolutely done the right thing by bringing the Netflix shows into the MCU canon, and basically just by picking up Daredevil where it left off. Sort of where it left off, not really, but kind of. So I just think that there's this discourse that's surrounding Marvel, and I've seen it now more than ever, about how it's just easy to hate on everything Marvel does. It's kind of like Star Wars. It's easy just to go in hating what they do and to criticize it from there, rather than taking the approach of, I just want to be entertained. Am I going to be entertained? Daredevil Born Again is a true continuation of the Netflix Daredevil. We are going to see Matt Murdock go through hell, as he's supposed to do, and we are going to see him become Daredevil again, and we're going to see how all these things affect him. I thought the second episode was an absolute masterclass in slow build, slow pacing. It was kind of procedural. It kind of built slow towards that last 5 minutes where it just erupted. There is a moment there at the end where he screams, and it is directly related to that iconic moment in season 3 when he beats the crap out of Wilson Fisk and then screams, and it was beautiful. So listen, I thought it was fantastic. As someone who loves the original Netflix show, I thought this was on par. It was just back to form, back to the Netflix form. I'm so happy Disney and Marvel are doing this. Is the CGI a little wonky? Yeah. But there's enough there, and the CGI didn't bother me at all. I thought that first fight was awesome. And we're going to get that. You're going to get that in any superhero project. And I really think that that's part of where people just start to nitpick everything. And when you take a step back from nitpicking and you really just try to sit down and you just try to enjoy everything, it's a lot easier and life's a lot better. And, you can see the value in these things and you can just be entertained, because at the end of the day, that's all we need in this world right now is to be entertained. Bottom line, I love Daredevil Born Again, and I can't wait to see the rest of the season.